devotion. What you gave was freely offered, a love that carried them through the highs and lows, the unpredictable seasons, and the cycles of change that life inevitably brings. You stood beside them without conditions, expectations, or ultimatums. Your love was not transactional, it was simply given, even when they could not recognize its value. For a long time, they overlooked the quiet strength of your devotion. It was only when you fell silent, when your voice no longer echoed in their world, or when you finally stepped away from the connection, that the depth of what you had given began to dawn on them. That silence, that absence, spoke louder than all the words you ever said. It forced them to pause and reflect, and now their mind often drifts back to the memories of what you both once shared. As they sit in that reflection, waves of regret rise within them. They replay the past, moment by moment, trying to understand how they could have been so blind. They are haunted by the realization that your love was steadfast, unwavering, and true, while their actions did not match the gift you were offering. Instead of meeting your love with openness, they were often dismissive. Instead of cherishing you, they allowed arrogance, selfishness, and pride to cloud their behavior. The thought of this weighs heavily on them now. They feel a deep sense of shame, almost as if they betrayed something sacred. They know you were the only one who loved them without condition, without demand, and yet they were the very source of your hurt, the reason behind your disappointment time and time again. And yet, despite the pain they caused, what stands out most to them now is your strength. They have seen you walk through cycles of heartbreak and healing, sometimes with them and sometimes alone, but always returning to yourself stronger than before. To them, you embody resilience. They marvel at how, despite everything, you have never allowed bitterness to define you. Instead, you rise each time with more clarity, more wisdom, and a deeper understanding of yourself and of love. This quiet, unwavering strength is something they cannot ignore. It has become a light in their life, guiding them in ways they never expected. What perhaps astonishes them most is the influence you hold over their growth. Whether or not you are aware of it, you have shaped their journey. Your patience, your strength, and your ability to love with such depth have inspired them to confront their own flaws. For so long, they lived in a world where others catered to their ego, where people followed their words without question, seeking approval or validation. They were surrounded by individuals who admired them but never challenged them, people who upheld their illusions instead of pushing them to grow. You, however, were different. You did not bow to their arrogance or get swept into their self-centered patterns. Instead, you stood firmly in your truth, loving them but refusing to compromise your authenticity. And that, more than anything, left a mark on them. It is only now, with time and distance, that they recognize just how unique your presence has been in their life. They have come to see you not simply as a lover or companion but as someone they admire deeply, almost like a mentor or a guiding star. You have become an unintentional teacher, someone whose strength and grace has illuminated paths they didn't know existed. They watch the way you carry yourself, the way you recover from hardship, and the way you continue to evolve, and they cannot help but be inspired. While they once thought they were the one with power in the connection, they now realize that it is you who has held the true influence all along. Your person sees you now as an idol, though not in the superficial sense. It is not about idolizing you as flawless or perfect, but rather admiring the way you embody imperfection with dignity, the way you face challenges without losing your essence, and the way you love so deeply even after being hurt. That kind of strength is rare. That kind of love is irreplaceable. And in your absence, they have discovered just how much you have contributed to their growth as an individual. They are slowly beginning to understand that your connection was never about control or dependence. It was about freedom, growth, and transformation. Through you, they are learning to become independent, to stand on their own without relying on others to feed their ego. They are beginning to see the value of humility, of authenticity, and of love that asks for nothing in return. You may not even realize the impact you have made, but for them, it has been profound. Your influence has reached into the very core of who they are, pushing them to confront their shadows and step into a better version of themselves. Now, as they look back, they feel both the sting of regret and the warmth of admiration. They regret not seeing the depth of your love when they had the chance, not appreciating you fully while you were by their side. But alongside that regret is a profound respect, a reverence even, for who you are and what you represent in their life. You have become more than a memory, more than a person from their past. You are a force that continues to shape them, an inspiration that lingers in their thoughts, guiding them toward becoming someone worthy of the kind of love you once gave so freely. So much is happening so quickly in my life that I can hardly keep track of it all. It feels as if the past few months have been nothing but waves of pain, one after the other, crashing over me before I've even had the chance to catch my breath. I keep asking myself how I'm supposed to deal with everything, and truthfully, I don't even know the answer anymore. One thing happens, then before I can process it, another thing comes along, and then another, and another. It's like a cycle that won't stop repeating, pulling me deeper into confusion. I don't even know whether I've been reacting to things impulsively or responding in ways that are healthy and intentional. Everything feels so overwhelming, so uncontrollable, and despite all my attempts to move forward, life seems determined to knock me back down. What hurts the most is realizing that in the middle of all this chaos, I've lost something that mattered more than anything else, you. I feel as though I left my happiness behind when I let you slip away. For so long, I was distracted, trying desperately to impress other people just to feel like I was good enough. I thought that if I could prove myself, at work, in friendships, in all the places where people's approval felt like currency, I would finally feel whole. But the truth is, I was wrong. All that striving and chasing left me empty, and now everything in my life seems to be breaking down because I wasn't focused on what was truly important. That's why I've started doubting even myself. I don't trust my own choices, and I don't trust others easily either. I keep circling back to this truth that feels so heavy on my chest. The love I had always been searching for, the love I longed for deep in my heart, was right there in front of me all along.